So, welcome to Northern Powerhouses, our business success stories series of interviews, where we discuss with local business leaders their backgrounds, their successes and challenges, and what's really driving them forwards. And this morning, I'm delighted that we have back with us Nikki Redhead, who's Managing Director at Keep It Cool. So, firstly, Nikki, thank you so much for coming back and spending a bit more time with us. And if you'd like to introduce yourself, Keep It Cool, what you do, how you help people, that would be wonderful.
Excellent. Thanks, Chris. I'm Nikki Redhead, Managing Director of Keep It Cool. We are a temperature-controlled transport company based in Bradford, Yorkshire, and we cover nationwide deliveries on behalf of our customers who are manufacturers, 3PLs, a variety of companies across the industry. We've been running for 11 years nearly now, and we've gone from strength to strength in that 11 years. So
Brilliant. And what I mean, I'm interested. I'm guessing food is going to be one of these things that you do. But what are the sort of range of products? I'm only guessing, but what are the range of products that you transport, just to give people an idea?
we move all it is all food based. We do a tiny bit of pharmaceuticals, but to be honest,
Right.
the majority of our work would be food based, and we move everything from your chopped carrots that go into your curries, I guess, or ready meals. We move mushrooms. We also move frozen dog food. So obviously not on the same vehicle. We don't consolidate. Everything is
Brilliant.
dedicated to the country that we run for. But yeah, we move all sorts of food products across the country.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, fascinating. And how has that industry changed over? We obviously spoke last time. How has the industry changed over the last few years?
It's changed considerably. There have been an awful lot of mergers.
Yeah.
There have been, unfortunately, some businesses that we've lost in the food industry,
Yeah.
but also it has gone from strength to strength. So the volumes have been, I mean, the Christmas volumes this year, for example, everybody always talks about peak in the cold chain industry and the food industry. You know, Christmas is one of those times that's chaos, like with many industries.
You'd imagine.
Um, but over the last few years, we hadn't seen quite the volumes that this year's seen again. Now, whether that was because of the aftermath of COVID and just things settling somewhat, I don't know. But this year was really positive and actually really exciting again. So it was the chaotic last minute, urgently trying to move pallets of food around the country, and that's what we like to see. So it's yeah, the volumes have definitely gone up. People are spending more on food. I mean, it's costing more on the shelves. We know that. We know that there's
Yeah.
issues there. But yeah, it's a positive growth, certainly,
Brilliant.
and we're seeing that.
And your benefiting from that. So looking back over the last year, what would have been some of the key changes for you since we last spoke?
So we've definitely moved the business into we've got more of a two-veined approach. So I did mention last time we are specialists in the last minute and the urgent and the emergency movement of food.
Yes.
If people have pallets left on the floor, essentially, as happens in a just in time operation, we can be called to go and collect those from wherever they are around the
Yeah.
country, and we'll make sure they're delivered immediately. It's also if there's driver failures, if there are vehicle failures, we are the people to call because we can react immediately. But we have also built the regular side of the business, so we do an awful lot of regular work, smaller volumes for customers. So customers who you hit a pinch point. There's an awful lot of pallet movers out there. But we hit a point where actually, if we're moving 8 pallets for this customer, price wise, it starts to tip into we are more effective and we're more cost effective. And with us, you do get a dedicated specific service. So when that customer says those 8 pallets need to be there at 1:30 on Tuesday and not a minute later, we can honour that and we can do that. And so we have found we've picked up an awful lot more work on the regular side because we are comparative price wise, but also the service that we offer is that specialist top-notch service. So
Brilliant.
it's been a real positive. Yeah.
Brilliant. And sort of what would you say makes an A grade client? What are the best people, if anybody happens to be watching, what would be the best sort of client for you, that you serve best?
Oh, that's actually quite a difficult question. Just we work with some superb clients. We will try our utmost to make sure everything is perfect and we communicate and we offer the best service we can. We would just like someone who's also acknowledging of the fact that however much we plan and however things, however much we try and make a service perfect, sometimes on a very rare occasion things do go a little wrong. And when they do, as long as we communicate that, you know, they accept that, or understand at least, I guess. It's we pay for every single possible insurance with our trucks and all the repair and maintenance contracts. We do everything we can to make sure that they are running every second of the day. But unfortunately, sometimes things are out of our hands. And that does mean sometimes, you know, there's issues that arise. But we work with some very good customers. We're very open, we're very direct, we're very straight. We tell you what we can offer. I don't sell the dream, we sell a realistic possibility. But we service that and we honor that, and we make sure that we're doing our damnedest to make sure it's the best. So
absolutely, I totally get that. It's someone that accepts that sometimes things go wrong for totally outside our control, and it's been reasonable. It's funny. I remember my first business was in computer systems, both software and hardware. And I remember a client, we were quite comfortable offering a 99% up rate. So you 99% of the time the system, 90 something, I think it's 99, it was up. But they said, well, you know, we want 100%. It's always working. And I had to say to them, look, the complexity of being 100% never fails is going to cost you 10 times as much. Not a bit more, not 1% more. It's going to 10 times, because of all the contingencies you'd have to do just to make sure there was never a failure is just too much. And I agree. I think it's clients that understand and are understanding at those points is really
I think once they've worked with us, they do see how much we will do to make it work.
Brilliant.
We, you know, and we have to. It's like I say, yes, we do the regular work, but that's still as important as the last minute. You know, these are people's businesses that we're looking for, and with the nature of the business, there's an awful lot more charges going in. So if you're late into a supplier now, which again is understandable, they have to man their workforce and their streams of work. But the charges are significant now into some of the supermarkets and suppliers. So, you know, they work with us, but they know that we do a good job.
Yeah, brilliant. And you obviously talked about what sort of level of growth have you seen over this last year? You know, roughly percentage wise, is it?
I mean, I can tell you exactly percentage wise. We're going through our finances at the minute, but we've had an 11.25% growth this last year.
Well done.
Which is incredible. There's been, again, I mean, there's always challenges. There's challenges across every industry, but we've had our challenges this year, and this coming year, in the next couple of months, it's not nerve-wracking, but it is. We're very aware that there's huge changes coming. So the fact that we've seen the growth in the last year is really positive, and I hope we can continue that trajectory this year. But like I say, we are very aware of what's coming, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. And given the nature of what we do as well, and we are an emergency service, like I say, on some part of it, and sometimes that's a cost that people just don't want to pay. They will take the risk of that product not getting there. So I do think we could see a slight. It may contract slightly following the April changes, because we've had to put our prices up. Everybody across the industry has had to put their prices up. But we've been at various discussions recently, and certainly with a trade body of ours, the Cold Chain Federation, where, you know, we have all said this is not a race to the bottom. We can't do that in our industry. You know, we are offering a service, we're offering a very good service, but given that even RPI has increased 10% in the last 2 years, plus we're increasing our driver wages, we employ professional HGV drivers, you know, they shouldn't be on a minimum wage, so we are having to match what the minimum wage is, you know, the increase again this year. So we yes, the 11% is super duper. I'm really pleased with that. You know, we made concerted efforts to make that happen. We will have to see what happens this year.
Absolutely. And you mentioned chat, obviously, what are some of the challenges that you've had to face over the last 12 months?
The competition, and just making sure that as I said last time, we've always told everybody in our vicinity that we do a good job. And we've always explained our service, but I don't think when I had gone far enough in terms of going out to the wider audience and the wider industry and saying, do you know about us? People had heard of Keep It Cool, but they don't know what we do. And that was part of the challenge, making sure we got out there. And actually we did say to the people that, you know, and I say our competition, we definitely have competition in the industry. But just making sure that, just really highlighting who we are and asking people to give us a chance and use us. And once they do, we do hear from these people again and again and again. So it's they're the main challenges, really, getting in past, like every business, getting past the gatekeepers to say, actually, you do need us. You are, whether it's once a year, whether it's once a week, there are occasions where you're going to need us, and this is who we are.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And alongside obviously the growth that you've achieved, what are there any other key wins you could highlight in the last 12 months?
We were awarded Refrigerated Courier of the Year last year, which we were ecstatic with. We were really, really, really pleased with that. We've not applied for any of the awards before in the industry, and it was a key one for us, is that, because rather than anything, I mean, we're, there's customer service, there's obviously a lot more specific awards, but we really want to be known for what we do well, and what we do well is we courier. We do last minute. So we're thrilled with the Refrigerated Courier of the Year, and we will be going for it again, obviously, this year, hopefully. And we've expanded the team, which is superb for Keep It Cool. There's a lot that we're aiming for again this year. Obviously, we want to grow, but our professionalism in terms of we're going for DVSA earned recognition this year, again, just to show that we are correct operators. We do what we say. We want to back that with industry standards, as well.
Brilliant. And how good are you at celebrating your wins, would you say?
Superb initially, and then we forget very quickly, and we're on to the next thing. It doesn't stand still long enough. I don't think life stands still long enough at the moment. But we are returning to that. We had a discussion last week in which we said, we won this accolade, and we're not talking about it. We're not shouting about it. We need to be. So that is very much part of our strategy this year. We're going to tell everybody yet again that we are Refrigerated Courier of the Year 24. But it moves so quickly. You'll know, life moves so quickly, business moves so quickly. We've got decisions coming out of our ears. We've got all the cost conversations at the minute, which is, taking over, sort of being able to get into the nitty gritty with the other parts of the business that need to be got into. So it's we need to take a bit more time to celebrate what we've done, maybe.
I mean, it's interesting. I work with lots of entrepreneurial people, and I think one of the challenges we have is we're always focused on what we haven't achieved rather than on what we've yet to achieve rather than what we have. And I find it's really important, and we do an exercise of this quite often when we get business people together, is just take a little time to look back and celebrate and share the wins, because it does build I think one of the key valuable points about it is not just a celebration, but it builds resilience for us. So when I always say, when we the time we get up, we go, why the hell am I doing this? We've got an answer: because we're doing this, because we've achieved that, because we're winning awards, and it just helps to build resilience. Sorry.
Apologies. It was also because the accolade that we won was very much a team effort as well, and that's very much that the team put absolutely everything that they do every day to make sure everything works and it works well, and that was very much for them. So we should remember that, because it's it really is a testament to how they perform every day as well, and what they bring to work.
100%. It's important for our teams to celebrate and be recognised in that way. 100%. So looking at the wins and the challenges that you had, what would you say you've learned this last 12 months?
To have the conversations again. I think I said this last time, but it is to have the difficult conversations, and we've been having those, and we're really pushing ourselves. So whether it's internally, whether it's externally, we're not avoiding the sticky subjects, really. We know where we need to go. We've been brutally honest with ourselves in terms of what we do well and what we haven't done as well, and where we need to focus. And obviously the bits that we haven't done as well, sometimes it's the bits that we don't particularly like. So we are, we're really knuckling down and not putting it on the to-do list for next week. We're making sure it happens, and it happens now. But it's resilience again. It's all these different challenges and everything that comes up. It is about learning how resilient we can be, and what we need to do to change things.
Brilliant.
And to action those quicker. So
brilliant. And you probably remember when we spoke last time, I like to collect quotes or sayings. Is there anything that you catch yourself using on a regular basis about business or success or life in general?
No, but at the moment, I think it would be more sort of buckle up, you're in for the ride.
Absolutely. Fasten your seatbelts. Here we
Um,
go.
yeah, it's I think we've all had to kind of say that we've there's a lot to tackle this year in a really positive way. I'm making it sound negative. It's not negative, it's really positive. But it's just that there is so much that we are looking to do and hoping to do. And like we say, with everything coming in April, there will be challenges there.
Yeah.
There's going to be I think there will be not necessarily a massive shift in the industry in terms of changes or volume changes or whatnot, but it's going to hit hard, and it's going to hit hard on the bottom line. There's going to be people that yet again are not filling those trolleys because life is too expensive, the
Yeah.
supermarkets are too expensive, but there's nothing we can do there. We're being pushed to, we're all having to drive these costs up because otherwise you won't have businesses surviving. So
Yes.
it's going to be a different year again. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And like was it, if you got any sort of books or podcasts, anything that you follow that would be useful for anyone that's watching, anything that you picked up over the last 12 months that you found
I
useful?
think for quotes wise, actually, I do think Stephen Bartlett's excellent. I do like his quotes that often are shown very much about. Well, I listen to more podcasts. If I'm honest, I don't listen to as many as I should. Um, I quite like the silence when it's available, which is terrible.
Yeah.
So quite happy with the noise at work and at home, but sometimes it's but just there's so much support out there, whether it's depending on what industry you're in, but in any industry, you've got your trade bodies, you've got coaches like yourself. There's so much support out there and so many people to talk to. I'm lucky in that I have an awful lot of peers and acquaintances across the business, and I've touched base with a lot more of those
Right.
people in this last 12 months. And we do all face, it's not always going to be the same issue, but we all face similar issues. And it doesn't matter whether you're an employer as we are of 35 people, you're an employer of 50,000 people. There's a lot that will affect all of us. And it's good to know that you're not the only one out there
Yes.
battling with that. So I'd say look to your wider industry, look to your wider audience, because there's a lot of help out there.
Brilliant, absolutely. I think the ability to ask for help and realize that everybody needs help and it's okay to ask for help. It's not. It's a sign. One of the I think the biggest thing is seeing it as a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness. I think a lot of people see asking for help as a sign of weakness is actually a sign of strength, I believe.
Yeah.
And the most successful people do collaborate really, really well. And what I'm keen to know what you would say you've learnt about yourself throughout your journey and especially over the last 12 months.
To enjoy the highs and the lows. I know we said we didn't celebrate those wins enough, but celebrate we are, how we do handle even the lower points and the tougher points, and take the wins out of that, whether it's that we did it right or wrong, but really learn from it. So pick it up and learn from it. And like we were saying, so, even if it's not necessarily asking for help, bounce the ideas off people, use other people's brains. There's a lot of people who are willing to give their support or just give their time, just 5 minutes of this, that, and the other. And also within that, I've very much got involved with a couple of different bodies, but women in logistics and women in cold chain. And again, it's even if it is just a conversation where, even if it's a sort of a work-life balance, and how would you battle that? How do you tackle that? Taking that support and that collaboration is well worth doing.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And yeah, I think it's brilliant to broaden that as much as possible. And so Nikki, looking forward now, what and obviously you've highlighted the next couple of weeks or months have been mainly challenging, but what does the longer term future look like for you guys, and what challenges do you think you might face, if any?
So in the past, we've been slightly limited, well, not limited growth wise, but we haven't had the sort of the physical space to grow sometimes as much as we would want.
Right.
So we are going to be setting up on our own site in the next, hopefully in the next couple of years, to
Wow.
give ourselves the opportunity to grow when we need to. And we'd like to expand the team. We'd like to build the office team, as well as obviously the driver pool and the wagons. I think that's, it comes all as one. And we would like to, again, we would like to just spread further afield. Whether that's that we set vehicles up in other locations in the country and teams up in other locations, I'm not sure, but it's certainly, we would look to be growing again. I would like to have achieved another 25% in the next 2 years, growth, and see where that takes us.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And what is there any new initiatives, anything new that we should be looking out for over the next 12 months?
You'll just see our wagons in more locations on more trunk roads, I think.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Like I say, we want to really underpin how we operate. So we are going for the industry standards. You will see us more, or not necessarily you, but the industry, the cold chain industry, will see us more across the awards and promoting ourselves and really explaining who we are and what we can do for you. Because again, it's that getting out there, getting in front of people, and really explaining that the service we offer is one that, like I said before, whether it's one day a year, whether it's a day a week,
Yes.
we can offer that service. So.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Well look, it's been fascinating talking to you again, and thank you for giving us an update where you are and what the future looks like. And for anyone that's watching would like to get in touch with you or keep it cool, what would be the best way to do that?
Either go onto the website, which is info@keepitcool.co.uk, or give us a ring. I'm always happy to have a chat. And our office line is 01274 271 451. So give us a call.
Brilliant. Well, again, thanks again for coming back and giving us a bit of an update. And again, I look forward to doing the same in another 6 to 12 months.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Nikki.